Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon which cuts without wounding and ennobles the man who wields it. It is a sword that heals. One has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. Today we know with certainty that segregation is dead. The only question remaining is how costly will be the funeral. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor, it must be demanded by the oppressed. Darkness cannot be overcome with more darkness, only with light. Violence cannot be overcome with more violence, only with peace. Difficult and painful as it is, we must walk on in the days ahead with an audacious faith in the future. If you lose hope, somehow you lose the vitality that keeps moving. You lose that courage to be, that quality that helps you go on in spite of it all. And so, today I still have a dream. The whole world must see that Israel must exist and has the right to exist, and is one of the great outposts of democracy in the world. If you want to be important, wonderful. If you want to be recognized, wonderful. If you want to be great, wonderful. But recognize that he who is greatest among you shall be your servant. That is a new definition of greatness. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. Violence is anything that denies human integrity and leads to hopelessness and helplessness. I am what I am because of who we all are. So I have tried to make it clear that it is wrong to use immoral means to attain moral ends. But now I must affirm that it is just as wrong, or even more so, to use moral means to preserve immoral ends. Truth crushed to earth will rise again. Lightning makes no sound until it strikes. Alienation is a form of living death. It is the acid of despair that dissolves society. Let us rise up tonight with a greater readiness. Let us stand with a greater determination. And let us move on in these powerful days, these days of challenge to make America what it ought to be. We have an opportunity to make America a better nation. Freedom has always been an expensive thing. History is fit testimony to the fact that freedom is rarely gained without sacrifice and self-denial. Like an unchecked cancer, hate corrodes the personality and eats away its vital unity. No one really knows why they are alive until they know what they would die for. The good neighbor looks beyond the external accidents and discerns those inequalities that make all men human and, therefore, brothers. 300 years of humiliation, abuse, and deprivation cannot be expected to find voice in a whisper. One of the great liabilities of history is that all too many people fail to remain awake through great periods of social change. Of all the forms of inequality, injustice in health care is the most shocking and inhumane. Never be afraid to do what is right, especially if the well-being of a person or animal is at stake. Society's punishments are small compared to the wounds we inflict on our soul when we look the other way. You can kill the dreamer, but you cannot kill the dream. Resistance and nonviolence are not in themselves good. There is another element that must be present in our struggle that then makes our resistance and nonviolence truly meaningful. That element is reconciliation. Our ultimate end must be the creation of the beloved community. To ignore evil is to become an accomplice to it. We must come to see that the end we seek is a society at peace with itself, a society that can live with its conscience. Stand up for justice, stand up for truth, and God will be at your side forever. A true revolution of values will soon cause us to question the fairness and justice of many of our present policies. Love is the supreme unifying principle of life. Every crisis has both its dangers and its opportunities. Each can spell either salvation or doom. Right defeated is stronger than evil triumphant. If the church of today does not recapture the sacrificial spirit of the early church, it will lose its authentic ring, forfeit the loyalty of millions, and be dismissed as an irrelevant social club with no meaning for the 20th century. We may have all come on different ships, but we are in the same boat now. I came to the conclusion that there is an existential moment in your life when you must decide to speak for yourself. Nobody else can speak for you. Segregation is the adultery of an illicit intercourse between injustice and immorality. Every man is somebody because he is a child of God. Nonviolence is the answer to the crucial political moral questions of our time. Our generation will not have regretted both perverse crimes and the eerie silence of the kind. What are you doing for others? I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountain side, let freedom ring. Racial understanding is not something we find, but something that we must create. Through education, we seek to change attitudes. It may be true that the law cannot make a man love me, but it can stop him from lynching me, and I think that is pretty important. Our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men. There can be no deep disappointment where there is not deep love. We must combine the toughness of the serpent with the softness of the dove, a tough mind and a tender heart. There is nothing more tragic than to find an individual bogged down in the length of life, devoid of breath. Our lives are not fully lived if we are not willing to die for those we love, for what we believe. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? If I wish to compose or write or pray or preach well, I must be angry. Then all the blood in my veins is stirred, and my understanding is sharpened. Everyone can be great because everyone can serve.